Yo, what's up, guys? Hey, man, welcome back to the page. If y'all my day ones, man, I want to say thank you guys for always sticking with me. Thank you for waiting for my videos. Thank you for watching my videos. That means a lot to me. I just started this. Yeah, I started a TikTok. So it's called Juan/Radtech. I didn't name it the X-Ray Zone. So yeah, go follow me on there, man. I drop videos daily too, just trying to build that up a little bit and give knowledge. So many platforms out there that you can help people. And not just YouTube. I'm grateful for YouTube, man. I love being on here. But I started that, and I also started this one. Now is the Instagram. That one is the X-Ray Zone. You can follow me on there. And let's just grow, man. I just like to help you guys out there. I'll give you different, aspects of help or different ways of helping you because some people don't have TikTok. Some people do have TikTok. Some people don't have Instagram, but they have TikTok and vice versa. I think 99.9% of people have YouTube, so that's how they find me here. But for the most part, they don't really have Instagram or TikTok. So I try to be on different platforms to help you guys. But to all my day ones again, thank you so much for following me. I really appreciate you guys, and thank you for sticking with your boy. So anyway, today's video. Oh, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe, man. You're always gonna come back and check out my old videos, man. I got a lot of content, man, that I dropped, a few years ago that's still relevant to this day. You know what I mean? So go check that out. Um, so somebody left me a comment the other day, man, and I had to address it. And it was, is it worth going to a medical assistant slash basic x-ray program? And I'm here, I'm gonna give you 3 reasons why it's not worth it. Okay. So if this is you, man, and we get a lot of schools like that here. I live in Florida, so we get a lot of schools like that in Florida. For whatever reason, man, they trick these students into get into these programs, man, that honestly they're just they're semi. No, education is worthless. So I don't want to use that word, even though I just said it, but it's semi worthless, man. I have to say it because it's true. All right. And let me break it down to you. So the first reason is this. Yeah, man, there's no growth basically. So you're basically going to school, and I'm sure it's a 2-year program. You're going to school to become a medical assistant slash basic x-ray, which means that when I when I hear basic x-ray, what I hear is extremities, hands, elbows, maybe feet, maybe they let you do a knee or two, um, maybe skull, but other than that, that's all you can really do, So you are stuck working at a doctor's office. And, it's not always stuck because they have good hours, right? But you're stuck at that pay because you're not a true technologist, right? And not only that, when you work at doctor's offices and urgent cares, which nothing wrong with that because I've worked in them before and they're not bad, but I had the option to leave, you know what I mean? And when you go to school for medical assistant slash basic x-ray, you're semi stuck there. And what I'm trying to say is that whenever you go for, medical assistant and you're x-ray tech, you have to do everything else that a medical assistant also does. Check in patients, do vital signs, blood pressure, EKG, even inject some vaccines, hepatitis this, hepatitis that, COVID shot, flu shot, so you're basically the X-ray tech and the assistant and the medical assistant. I guess it makes sense, right? But that's what I'm saying though. You're limiting your potential when you go for something like that because you can't get into MRI. You can't ever work at the hospital and get those $25,000 sign-up bonuses. You can't become a travel tech like myself and make 2 to 3K a week. Just not going to happen with medical assistant slash basic X-ray. And that's the downfall, that there's no growth. There's no growth. For you to go become a full tech, you still have to go to school for 2 years. So you might as well just do the whole 2 years as an RT, get your RT license, and then, have and give yourself a chance to develop into CT, MRI, ultrasound, whatever you decide to go from there. But set your foundation. Don't let these schools sit there and be like, oh, yeah, come on, And again, this is not bashing schools because it's a business. And at the end of the day, it's a business, right? So they're going to, they have to make money, and, they're going to get students, and they're going to trick some students. You're going to go to school for 2 years to be a medical assistant slash basic x-ray, to work in a doctor's office to make 15 to 16 bucks an hour. How does that make sense? When you go to school for 2 years, be a RT, start off at 25 to 30 an hour, PRN 35 an hour, and also get 25 to sometimes 50K sign-on bonus. Like, man, the math ain't mathin', right? So that's the first reason. The second reason is this. I wrote it down. Oh, I kind of touched on it already. I was gonna say your places of working are very limited. Like urgent cares, doctors' offices, and that's basically it. You really can't do anything else besides those two. So that's definitely a downfall. So that's number two, why you shouldn't even consider it, because it doesn't really make sense. And to going for that. All right. So the third one, which to me this is the most important one, because like I said, the math doesn't math up, and it's this. It's way, way too expensive. Think about this. Most schools that offer this program, not most schools, the schools that offer this program, medical assistant slash basic X-ray, are schools that are private schools. Because if you look, and again, it's a business, right? So they're gonna try to make up all these different careers that is gonna try to attract the students are like, oh, the students feel like they're getting a good education, and they go to school, and when they get out, they're making $10 an hour in Miami, in Fort Lauderdale, and West Palm Beach. And how you gonna survive all that kind of money, and you already busted your butt for 2 years? So what I mean by that is that you go to private schools. Private schools offer this, and guess how much the program is? 30,000, 40,000. And if you go to your state college, if you go to Palm Beach State, I don't know what other state colleges are in Florida because I've only been to Palm Beach State. But you go to Palm Beach State, which is a true state college. You go on there and see if you can find medical assistant slash basic X-ray. Doesn't exist. Either they have medical assistant or they have radiology. Because there's two different they're two different careers. Medical assistant does billing. Well, they don't do billing, but they do like the medical assistant part. You're a helper. That's what you basically are. Medical assistant. You're a nurse's helper. You're not a CNA, because CNAs is a little. It don't take that long to become a CNA. I think it's like a couple of weeks, maybe, or even any training at all. But a medical assistant, you don't have to go to school, because you have to learn a little here, a little there. So medical assistant is preparing you to work in a doctor's office, outpatient centers, but it's not preparing you to elevate any further than that. I'm not saying you can't elevate, because you can always go back to school and do nursing or whatever you feel is best for you. But you see, the state colleges will never offer that combo, because that combo does not exist in the real world. So be smart about what you're doing, guys out there. Do your due diligence, research, come to my channel. I'll give you the 100. You know what I'm saying? I'm always gonna give you the real deal. I'm not gonna sit there and sugarcoat anything and be like, oh yeah, go for that. Go do medical assistant slash basic X-ray. Doesn't make sense, guys. All right. So hey, again, man, I hope that this helps some of you guys out there, one of you guys out there, or a couple of guys out there, and making a good decision.